Hello, my dear astro enthusiasts and astro lovers. Uh, Today we are going to talk about the transit of Venus, the goddess of love, the planet that is responsible for the similar things, for love, for money, for the relationships, for esteem, self-esteem, valuation of things, of people, of relationships that are important to us, that play an important role in our life. And this planet is currently and will be up until the 9th of October transiting the sign of Leo. Okay, Leo is the sign that will make our Venus more demonstrative, more willing to attract attention, maybe in some cases somewhat theatrical. It is about loving yourself, showing yourself. It is a good time, except the time that it will be retrograde, only in the direct moving that I'm going to talk about later. It is a good time to present yourself, to show how bright of a personality you are, the looks we want to pamper ourselves, to spoil ourselves, to buy new things. I don't know, women, shoes, bags. We need that. That said, we are going to be inclined to overspending. So if you feel that you are ready to go on a shopping spree, think again, recalculate, buy something, but don't spend too much, because we are going to be inclined to say, hey, I'm buying all of that, this, that, or this dress, all of them. Okay, maybe reconsider. Maybe you will want to reconsider. So together, the planet of Venus and the sign of Leo, together it's a good combination. That's a nice combination for the romantic relationships. However, don't expect them to be too serious, especially the ones that are going to come into the... Okay, I keep going back and forth to the retro phase. Let's settle the dates. Okay, so the planet of Venus has entered the sign of Leo on the 5th of June this year. It is going to go forward, and stop, and this is going to start going retrograde. So the retrograde movement commences on the 22nd of July and will last until the 4th of September. So be mindful that during this period, I will repeat again, from the 22nd of July till the 4th of September, all of the things regarding Venus, all the Venusian things, like, I don't know, connected with beauty, with money, with relationship, are going to be under scrutiny. They are going to be under careful reconsideration on our part. Okay, so it is not recommended to do things like trying to break up the relationship that you weren't going to break up before that period. Do not burn the bridges with anyone, because when the retrograde period is over in September, it is going to be very hard to restore this relationship should you want to. What is not recommended to do during the period of retrograde Venus is any cosmetological or beauty procedures, aesthetic procedures, buying even clothes, even though you might find yourself willing to do all of these things exactly at that period. But unfortunately, more often than not, they might end up being unsuccessful, for the lack of the better word, for different circumstances. First of all, maybe you bought something that you didn't need. You bought something that you did need, but you could have made a better choice later. You paid more money than you should have, and things like that. That happens. That's what retrograde Venus is all about. Now, having said that, except this period from the 22nd of July until the 4th of September, except this period, it is otherwise a good time to show yourself to the public, to do some sort of campaign, to promote yourself, to promote the things that you do, to do some kind of creative projects. But having said that, the retrograde Venus is the good time to go back to the retrograde project, especially in the beginning of the retrograde period. It is going to make a harmonious aspect to a point that will allow to grow the old things, to get the profit of resolving old issues. Should it be a creative project or the old relationship? Maybe if someone from your past life, maybe your ex-partner resurfaces, and you will decide to talk it out, and you will resolve some kind of issue that you had in your mind and that was preventing you from growing as a person, or from moving forward to the next partner, for example. So it should be positive, even though maybe not so, let's say, not all the flowers and chocolate candies. Okay, so what else is on the menu? Being generous. We will all be inclined to be more generous to ourselves, to other people, and to our children. Be generous, but again, do not overspend, because Venus in the sign of Leo is not especially about practicality. It is otherwise. A lot of people can feel inclined to show off, to increase their authority at the expense of raising their expenses, of overpaying, of picking up the bill for a company of 20 people just to show off, or buying the car that cannot afford in reality just to show to the world, look, I can afford it, I can do it, I'm rich enough, I'm not poor, So be sure that if you feel this kind of push from the inside, stop yourself. Okay. Okay, so what is it also good for? If, for example, your relationship has been degrading for a long time, then the retrograde Venus period that I mentioned earlier is a good time to break up the relationship, because during that period, it is the relationship, like we are having doubts about the value of things, including the relationship, including our partner. How valuable is this relationship to me? How valuable is this person in my life? How beneficial this relationship is to me in general. So because of that, you might go through the breakup more easily than you would have in a different time. Okay, so but if your relationship was otherwise okay, please do not try to break up with a person during this time. Like I said, it can be hard to restore something like this. Do not start anything connected with the beauty industry. Women, especially girls, haircuts, something serious, changes to your image, the cosmetic procedures, estheticians, beauticians, all of that very carefully during retrograde, I would not recommend. I think that a lot of us will feel the urge to run to our hairstylist and now I want to cut it short, and keeping in mind the aspects that are going to be with Uranus, which gives us this ideas that are very original, that are very not like everyone else, and cut it short and cut it this short here and that short here, and maybe when the retrograde period is over, you are going to regret it big time. So wait it out. As a matter of fact, for the beauty procedures, I would say that today it's 16th. I'm recording this video. It is better to catch the time before the 21st of June, then beginning of July, 3rd to 17th of July, and then later 10th of September, beginning of October, before 9th of October. Okay, before 9th, the well before. So because after that, Venus is kind of falling out of the sign of Leo, which they are not a perfect but a very good match, into the sign of Virgo, with which they have it's in fold there, so they are not such a good match, and we will have to wait. Not only it will be in Virgo, it is going to be conjunct Black Moon and in the direct opposition with Saturn, so it's not a good time to do anything. So try to if you need to do something, photo shoot, I don't know, like hair, whatever, try that to be by the way, the relationship things like the weddings and things, difficult transit for that, but make sure that at least you avoid the retrograde period, which I mentioned before. It's 22nd of July till the 9th of October. Till the 4th of September. Avoid that period, okay? At least bad time for weddings, bad time for arranging parties, one thing, but for astrology, what it is important, I think I mentioned it in one of my videos, is putting a signature on a document. This is basically when you are formalizing and making it real, the relationship. So make sure that at least at that period, you will not formalize your relationship. Having said that, a lot of couples that are going to meet, and this transit will incline you to meet a partner, let's say, but unfortunately not a very serious one. A lot of couples during the retrograde period might fall apart when the retrograde period is over. So try to, I would not say avoid this, but just don't mentally get married and have a virtual 15 children together. Okay, just keep in mind that most probably it's just a flirtation, most probably it's for having good time, most probably it will not go very far. Okay, and having said that, not only during the retrograde period, but also in the periods that I'm going to mention later. What else? It is going to be, there are several, let's say, difficult places in this transit that we will have to keep in mind. I'm going to name a few right now with the dates. So from the 20th of June to the 13th of July, the opportunity is very high for meeting someone and having connections, but unfortunately this kind of connections can be just one night stands. Be very careful, especially girls, to the men that are telling you stories that are too good to be true. They will most probably not be true. Okay, the people can at this period of time can be inclined to the kind of people that will be active at this time, that can not only tell you lies, but also to tell you lies to get some kind of profit even out of you. So be very careful. If somebody says, I'm a prince from Nigeria and I need you to send me money in order to get my inheritance or whatever, no, okay? Like if something starts happening that starts smelling like, what was the movie on Netflix? Tinder Swindler, I think, yeah? That starts smelling like the guy, like what that guy did in that story. Take 20 steps back, like, whoa, what is happening now? So be very, very careful. Having said that, businessmen, entrepreneurs, that kind of constellation of the planets, conjunction of the planets, is not only about romantic relationships, it's also about business. So businessmen, be very careful. The very same kind of people you can meet them, okay, that they can try to take advantage of you, and just they can be plain scammers, you know, and they can take your money. And so be very thoughtful of whom you are dealing with in terms of your business, especially around 23rd of July. If you have some kind of negotiations, I would recommend to postpone them, to change the date, whatever, because first of all, maybe you will be miscommunicating what you need, but also it is very high chance to meet someone well, just not to meet someone, but that your counterpart that you're having negotiations with will not be conducting the negotiations in good faith. So it's much better to postpone, I would say. Having said that, good opportunities for the business, which you will have to see and go for them, will be from 9th of September until the end of the period, which is, like I said, 9th of October. 9th of September, 9th of October, 1 month, you will have to see the opportunity and seize it in terms of business. In terms of relationships too. These aspects that I mentioned before, these periods, also might serve to the people that are very, you know, the kind of entrepreneurs that are very quick making decisions, that are good at taking the let's say, detours. The direct ways are not for them. You guys can gain like a lot, let's say, overnight, easily, like this. But you can also lose a lot and find yourself in debt. So be very careful. People, by the way, that's a gamble. That's what I was trying to say. People who gamble, stay away from casinos, stay away from computer games. I don't know honestly how that works, because I'm not big on neither on gaming or gambling, but like if you tend to get a bit or a lot addicted to the gaming story, stay away from it for this period, for sure, especially in August, 3rd August to 14th of August, okay, especially then. And honestly, the whole summer, try to avoid it. It's not a good time to gamble, really. Okay, even though it might seem like a good idea, that's the that's the danger of it, that it might seem like a good idea, but turn out to not be one. Okay, so one sec, sorry. Okay, so now let's talk about a little bit about the course of movement of the planet through this transit, and what connections, aspects our Venus is going to encounter, and how it is going to be reflected in our lives, because transit in general creates the background of our life. Let's say people are more or less more inclined to do certain things, less inclined to do other things, and that creates the background in which we have to function. So that said, be very careful during the following dates. From 3rd of June to 20th of June, and from 13th of August to 26th of September. These are the dates, these are 2 periods that I mentioned, when you might feel inclined to overspend money on the authority, to buy something, like I said before, something that you cannot afford just to impress people that in reality they don't care about you. Okay, you might be too hypersensitive to your own authority in the eyes of other people. It seems to you that they undervalue you, and you are such a great persona, you're so important doing your things, like at your job or whatever, that you can actively try to defend or prove your authority, and that will not only be not taken well, but you can make a fool of yourself. So Be very careful, take it easy during this period. Be mindful that you might feel like a little bit of false ego inflation, let's say. And be careful with the money, okay? You can overspend. Then, during the following period, from 25th of June to 13th of July, from 30th of July to the 16th of August, and from 22nd of September to 5th of October, these 3 periods, be extremely careful with something that seems to you like a very bold move, okay? Something very original, extravagant. You might feel like it's a good idea doing something like this. It is not. You will find it out that the results of the damage control needs to be done actually after these bold ideas were implemented. So be careful with that. Also, it's not a really good aspect to deal with the electric wiring, electricity in general, to fly. Not the best time. Yeah, you can also feel inclined to do something like super fast, but okay, again, think about it. Spend money, just, oh, let's do this investment. Don't, okay? Take your time to consider and maybe reconsider. Okay, what else? 26th of September to the 8th of October. It is going to be a favorable, harmonious aspect that will allow you to maybe go back, or people will go back to you from your past, and you will be able to resolve in a positive way maybe the things that were unresolved from the past, maybe the things that were bothering you, maybe something like from karma, some candy from karma is going to come your way, like you've been a good boy, a good girl, a good whatever, good person, and there's your enumeration, then there you are. Something will be granted to you, so that will come easily, but Venus always brings something either material or something extremely pleasant that we enjoy a lot, truly. So that's the good news. And like I said, businessmen, good time, September, like I mentioned before. All right, so now we are going to go to the signs and see for whom this transit and these aspects are going to play out in a positive way that is going to provide, give the opportunities to attain something, to achieve something, and to whom it might bring the problems that will need to be solved. And we are going to start with the Leos, of course, because you are the center of attention here. You love it. And probably you are the ones that are going to be, yeah, what I didn't say is extremely important. I did say it, but I cannot stress this enough. Okay. I feel like I didn't drive it home exactly. Be careful, please, with the people, okay? With the scammers, with the people that you are dating, meeting new people. Yeah, I'm not saying that somebody that you already know is a scammer. No, the people that you meet newly, let's say, they might have let's say bad intentions towards you. So be very, very careful. Be mindful of that. The things might seem differently from what they really are. The things can be misrepresented to you, to put you in some kind of state of illusion on purpose. Okay, so try to keep it, and it is going to be very difficult, I have to say, but try to keep the clarity of mind and the clarity of vision of the situation and the actors within the situation. Okay. All right, now moving on to the signs. The ones that are, like I said, Leos. Leos are going to get the most out of it. Of course, they are the ones who are going to get the candies, like from, what is this thing called that you hit in piñata? I think so, no? Piñata. Anyway, doesn't matter. You're going to get this bunch of candies, like candy rain on you. All the great things, but also doesn't mean that you should relax and be mindless about the precautions that I mentioned earlier. Keep your eyes open, do not relax too much. But Venus is called the planet of the minor, let's say, planet of the happiness. The major is Jupiter. So happiness is its speciality. And actually in Leo it gives that, so enjoy that, Leos. You had a rough patch behind you. Who else? Especially everything that I said especially concerns Leos that have birthdays from 4th to the 21st of August. Everything that I mentioned before, everything will be about you. Okay, so enjoy and relax, but don't relax too much. Especially the Leos that were born towards the end of the period, 21, 2019, 19th, 20th, 21st of August. Okay, Leos, you are going to have like a maybe productive period on the starting 29th of August to 11th of September. Maybe very productive, but can be quite tense. Okay, but will be productive. Okay, Leos, who else is going to get something nice? Aries, fire signs. Aries who were born starting 1st of April up to 18th of April. Okay, this is a positive aspect that this transit is going to make on you guys. So you will also have the opportunities coming your way. They are going to be quite clear and quite evident, so it will be hard to miss. It is up to you to take them. Like I said, even though it's all great and smiles and sunshine, don't forget about the precautions. Okay, don't overspend, don't be too original out there, and Aries can do some things that are very spontaneous, inclined to do so in general. So be careful and mindful of that. And also Sagittarius, especially those that were born starting 3rd of December to the 20th of December. Same thing, opportunities for you guys, candies, piñata, rain from blessings. Keep in mind the precautions. Don't overspend, don't be too forward out there with the new things. Be careful with the electricity and what I said with the flying. Now there are two signs that will also be able to get some opportunities from this transit. However, in their case, it is going to be less evident. They will have to see this opportunity and use it basically and go for it. So these two signs are Geminis and Libras. So especially Geminis that were born from 2nd of June to the 20th of June, and Libras that were born on the 5th of October all the way to the 21st of October. So you guys can basically make a leap forward, but you have to keep your eyes open and see the moment that you can do this, and you can perfectly be successful in that. Now, the sign that is going to have difficult circumstances, that it's Aquarius. The Aquarius guys, for you it's an opposition. It's a tense interaction, let's say, and this transit might put you in a situation where you will have to make a choice that is quite difficult, and as a result you will have to refuse something that you not necessarily want to refuse. But especially it concerns the Aquarius that were born on starting the 31st of January up to the 17th of February. You guys that are under scrutiny, be prepared, and everything, all the precautions that I mentioned earlier about overspending, about especially as one of the tense aspect is going to be with the Uranus, and Uranus rules your sign. So you guys, for you, difficult. Brace yourselves. More, I'm going to give you more information on month by month prognosis, and specifically talk about how it's going to be. But for now, just keep in mind what I said, that is going to be valid from now and up until the beginning of October. Now, then there are two more signs that are going to might have the difficult circumstances, but it will be in the form of, let's say, I will name the signs. Why am I not saying? They are the Scorpios and they are the Tauruses. Okay, so you might have this transit might give you problems, but problems solvable. It's just that you have to throw money and effort into resolving it. But you can do it. Let's say. It's nothing that you cannot do. If there is, I'm not sure that there is anything that Tauruses or Scorpios cannot do, because Tauruses are so persistent and hardworking. You guys can do anything, literally. And the Scorpios, for you, this is where you thrive, problem solving. Are you kidding me? If there is no problem, you will create one just to solve it. So crisis situation or whatever, it's a place of your strength. So it's a piece of cake for you guys. Be mindful of the precautions that I mentioned before about money and things, and people especially. But you guys, I'm not worried about the Scorpios and the scammers, because you guys see people through. Literally, you have some kind of 5th, 6th, 27th feeling that you know exactly, you feel if the person has got bad intentions, most of you. All right. Then there are also two signs. They are Capricorn and Pisces, that you guys can get some also problems, but from the places that you didn't expect. Something can come up that that is a result of the issues that you have been, like you had a blind spot, like it was going behind your back, or it was going on, without you being aware, and something can surface and throw some issues that you're not sure how to deal with, but you can do it. Again, for you it's not the best transit, but try to be mindful of the recommendations I gave earlier. And also there are two more signs, which are Cancers and Virgos. For you guys, it's like, I cannot say that it doesn't concern you, this transit. It does, because most of the times, like at least very often, we can have Sun in one sign, and personal planets, like for example Mercury and Venus in a next sign or in a previous sign. So you might have your Sun, say in Cancer, and your Venus can well be in, or Mercury or both can well be in Leo, and same goes for Virgos. Okay, so if that is your case, then everything that I was talking apply to Leos, you can apply to yourselves. So there is no like direct, there is a minor aspect that is very weak. So I would not say that you are the heroes of this, but you well might be, let's say, depending on your chart, which I'm going to make a separate video about how to maximize the utility, let's say, of the general prognosis for yourself. And long story short, it's knowing your chart. Okay, I'm going to go into detail in a new video about that, but that is going to help you to understand what things that that the astrologists are saying in the general prognosis on YouTube or anywhere else are applicable to you, what you should listen to and what you should just, you know, it's not about me, leave it behind, don't listen to whatever. So, yeah. Okay, guys. One more thing, quite important one, that on the 13th of August, there is going to be a conjunction of Venus in its retrograde position with the Sun, which is going to be the beginning of the new cycle Venus-Sun. The fact that it is retrograde and the fact that it is in Leo, it all highlights that we will have to reassess who we are and our value in general, our value for others, our self-esteem in our mind, or do things to increase that. Maybe someone will think, oh my God, like I thought that I'm super professional, but look at these guys, they're young, hungry, and I have to step my game up. And others might think, my goodness, I thought that I cannot do anything, but man, I'm doing a lot of things and I'm really good at what I do. Okay, so that is going to last for until the next conjunction that these two planets have, which is going to be in Libra on the 4th of June 2024. So during this coming year, it is going to be like the let's say, for the lack of the better word, the reassessment of ourselves and the value that we bring in reality and what we think about ourselves in comparison to the reality. So that is, I think, is important. Okay, so let me just remind you quickly that I would suggest to do all the Venusian things in the windows that I mentioned earlier, because later will be difficult. And I wish you a great transit. I wish you that the candy rain comes your way, and I'm going to see you in the next videos. Bye!